welcome to St. Louis Park Rec Center for a great matchup in boys hockey. A top 10 battle here tonight as the Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights host the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken. And Dan, two very strong programs traditionally and both really having good years this year as well. A lot of similarities between the two teams as well.
Very much so. Always good skating teams, both of these, Academy and Benilde. Scoring is big. They're offensively minded. We're going to see a lot of shots tonight and a lot of good speed. Oh my gosh, these guys can fly.
Benilde lost 6 players over the offseason to juniors or other high schools or Ann Arbor, so not as deep a team maybe as they thought they might have coming in, but Coach Pauley was saying they've really played their roles really well, accepted their roles, and it's just been a good team fit for them so far.
Well, yeah, with these guys, it's never, they're reloading all the time. I mean, that's part of what they do. They've got enough numbers, maybe not massive, but skilled numbers. So their third liner could play second or first line on some other teams.
Let's talk about key players to watch for in tonight's game. We've picked out a couple of number 17s, actually, captains for their teams. And Jimmy Zavrel, an interesting note, his sister was a great player here at Benilde, but he's a great player over at St. Thomas.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. He didn't follow over there. He went for another color. I wonder how that's going over, but good player. Fast, speedy, good hands, hard shot. Really got a hard shot. So we'll see him moving around quite a bit.
And centering the top line for Benilde, he's actually going to be a baseball player in college, but Caleb Totsky, also a very good hockey player for the Red Knights.
Funny how a lot of hockey players are good baseball players. I think it's that eye-to-hand coordination thing, but he's got it. He moves the puck well, sees it well, and he'll be in there battling for it a lot. He's a grinder too.
Obviously, it's mostly about the players on these teams, Dan, but we've got a couple of coaches that are really legends in Minnesota hockey. Mike Randolph, second year as head coach now. He's closing in on the all-time win record in Minnesota, and Ken Pauley has had a great career as well at Benilde. You're looking at over 1,200 wins between them.
Watching these guys behind the bench, they've done tremendous things for the programs. Mike Randolph coming down here and picking it up with St. Thomas, boy, what a boon for that program. He was a heck of a coach at Duluth East. He'll do a great job here. Ken Pauley, damn near a legend. He's doggone a legend around here. So we'll get two very well-coached teams.
All right, we'll see who comes out on top here. It's number 4, Benilde, taking on number 8, St. Thomas Academy, and it's up next here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
And welcome back to the St. Louis Park Rec Center as we get set for the second of a doubleheader here. The girls' game will be a tough act to follow as Benilde tied Orono in a great one, 1-1. And these two teams, both 8 wins coming in, both 18 wins last year. And, Coach Pauley from Benilde is saying they got a lot of similarities where we don't maybe have the firepower like we've had some years, and same for St. Thomas, but just good overall teams that play well together. There's a look at Cody Neeson getting the start in goal here for the Cadets, and he has done the bulk of their work this year. You see they are at 8-3-1 and trending very well, 5 wins in a row. And Mason McElroy, when Coach Pauley was talking about keys to this season, he said Mason's finally healthy now, and he's maybe been the biggest key to their success so far this year. He said, we're not blowing people out, but we're playing well. Their only loss was to number 2 Wayzata, and they have done very well with some key victories along the way, and same with both of these teams' own wins over Edina already, Dan, which says a lot for both their programs. So we are underway here, opening period. Cadets able to keep it in. and regroup on their forecheck here as Carter Callan picking it up and drops it back now for his partner, Mason Stenger. Pass bouncing away, and Zavarol throws it back in deep, and then he got the better of that collision with Dylan Popane. Here's Popane receiving the pass, zipping it ahead as they get it in. Ben Norris, now it deflects in behind, and the Cadets able to get to it. They've got a couple of really strong D-men that they like, Brody Dietz, Patch Cronin. Coach Randolph, in fact, saying he feels like Dietz might be the best defenseman in the state. Heavy check thrown there by Cam Kirshner for Benilde. And it'll trickle back out to center, gathered up by Mason Miner. Quickly going over to Quirk. And a shallow angle shot there, wouldn't go. Bounces back to the Benilde line, and Jack Anderson there to play it. A disciplined forecheck here by the Cadets as they're very much staying positionally and trying to take away that breakout, and that pass misfiring.
Well, both these teams, close to 4 goals a game. They're putting in. Defense is going to be the key here, and the goaltending.
Batted around here to Weston Quirk, trying to get it out. And dumped into the Cadet zone. Benilde wanting to get a change. Dietz back to play it here for the Cadets. They lost last year to Cretin-Derham Hall in the Section 3 AA final. They've already avenged that loss earlier this year, though. They beat Cretin as part of that 5-game win streak. Here's a chance for the trailer. Oh, McElroy making a stop on Will Dozian. Liam Moser carrying it in. Benilde was changing behind him, so he gets the puck in deep. Intercepted there by E.J. Ulrich, and that one deflecting up high and wide. It's kind of back and forth so far. We've just had one shot on goal. No real chances of yet for either club. McElroy ranging out to stop that one as he leaves it for Carter Callan. Moser will dump it in deep here for the Red Knights as they go chase after it. Thrown on net there, pad save. The second try was fanned on, still loose though in the slot. Moser gets to it. His shot goes wide of the mark as Neeson had it eyed up all the way and just watched it go wide. Can't get it out. Red Knights putting on a little forecheck pressure and looking for a wraparound here, but didn't quite make it to the front. And the Cadets, feeling the pressure a little bit, will have to ice it here. And we will come back down into the St. Thomas Academy end here.
Yeah, you get a good look at a great opportunity there. He had the right idea. He was going up into the corner. He just got a little too centered on that, but what a nice opportunity. Good pass out coming down the slot.
And McElroy making the toughest save of the night right there, certainly in the early going, as he squared up nicely and stayed up tall on that. He's not an enormous goalie, but good size at 5'11", and he played that one well. Junior Podine facing off here against Luca Pedri. Taken away at center and flipped right back in by the Red Knights. A pretty good job bottling Dietz up there briefly, but now he's able to get the pass away. Peter Murray able to get the puck in deep. Nick Johnson, that pass fails to connect, and it'll be an icing call against the Red Knights. There's a look at Mike Randolph, 698 wins. He is 10 away from becoming the all-time winningest high school hockey coach in Minnesota. Lauren Grasso is retired down in Rochester, is at 707. And obviously the bulk of that coming at Duluth East, but he's had a couple other stops, and then came down to the Twin Cities. He was associate head coach a couple years ago, and then took over as head coach for the Cadets 72 years old, and I asked him tonight, how long you keep going? He said, as long as the health's going, I'm still loving it.
Oh, amen.
Chance out front here, and a couple of whacks at it alongside the net by Zavrol, but good job by McElroy standing his ground. Red Knights offside. Popane got just a little ahead of Norris there. Play got interrupted enough by the D that forced the offside. It isn't terribly often that Ken Pauley coaches against somebody that has like over 100 more wins than him these days, right? I mean, he's got himself quite a record going too. And of course, knowing him as long as we have, he said, it just means I've been around a long time. But he's done a great job here too.
You could say two legends for sure, because both Pauley and Randolph are just fantastic.
Chance here. Carried right to the front. Good patience by Ulrich, but then he couldn't make that last move to tuck it around Neeson, who had come out. There was an open cage there, but he couldn't quite reach it far enough to tuck it away. Stanger with the steal there on a first real big mistake made by the Cadets D.
They're having a little trouble getting out of the zone here, and I'll tell you what, forechecking can make or break in. The Red Knights doing a good job that way.
Deflected ahead by Stenger here. Murray carrying it. He's all alone, though. His shot was blocked. Just trying to get that puck deep, and he's able to at least do that here. 11:45 to go in the first. No score on the board here. St. Thomas Academy rated number 8. And Benilde-St. Margaret's rated number 4 in AA.
Boy, a lot of cautionary hockey being played here right now. They're just taking their time, and there was an awful slow line change by the Cadets there.
Kirshner playing it ahead, looking for Podine. And puck squirts free. Played back down low again. Podine on the forecheck, able to dig it loose briefly there, but then played out of there by Gus Olson. Yeah, you're just kind of getting the teams rotating through their lines. Not a lot of sustained attack time for either so far.
Yeah, a little feeling out process here by both teams. Both very good. Trying to find a little weakness here that they can exploit.
I think both were a little antsy, too, waiting for that overtime girls game. Yes. I know I was down talking to the coaches, and the players were kind of like, what time should we be ready here, Coach? It looks like this one might go OT and that kind of thing. So, you get used to that, though, when you're thinking like state tournament time. Yes. So I guess you could look at it as good preparation if that becomes the case for either of these teams, which certainly is not out of the question. Koski took a little bump there. Nice hit thrown by Jack Anderson, but now offside against the Red Knights.
We didn't see a lot of physical play in the first game for obvious reasons. We're not supposed to, but just some good banging here. But look at this nice play by Ulrich here. Now, if the other winger had been out there, that would have been a tap-in.
Yeah, and even for himself there, he looked like he was going to be able to reach around and backhand that one in, but just got tied up just enough. So it didn't actually end up really being a shot on goal, but it was still their best chance so far for sure. Mason Miner being pursued there by Luke McPherson, got the pass away. Dump back in. Koski to pick it up here for the Red Knights. Puck knocked down at center, but they rule by a high stick by McPherson, so we'll get another face-off here. And hey, you're right. That's a very good way of describing kind of a feeling out process here. I think both these teams, they know they're playing a good opponent, so you don't want to be too out of line, taking chances, things like that. And they've been looking to dump. And like we were saying, for Benilde, certainly more familiar with their program on this side of town maybe than we don't see St. Thomas every year, but not the high-flying, high-risk offense maybe as they sometimes have had, but, playing as well as any team they've had in recent years, at least to start this season.
I'll tell you what, Jay, any coach in the state would take 4 goals a game per average. They would be very, very happy with that.
And I tell you, too, you get a lot of times in section tournaments, and games are more like this than the 7-5 kind of games,
yes.
too. And, you know, and I think that there's a look at Ken Pauley, the Red Knights coach. 31st year here, 34th year overall. It was interesting. He took a 3-year span in the middle and went over to Minnetonka and decided that he thought this was still a better fit and came back to Benilde.
There's probably a couple of reasons like that, like a private school and anybody can go there.
Shot on goal there, deflected away, but let's be honest, anybody can go to any public school these days too.
Yeah, that's true.
Battle for it at the blue line. Koski trying to play it around the D and go get it. Got held up by Dietz. Koski stayed with it. Dietz a little cross check, but not enough to draw a penalty there. Now Dietz up with it. Brody Dietz actually crosses the border to come to school, says hometown Hudson.
I was just gonna mention that fact. There's a Wisconsin guy out there.
Icing here, and we'll come back into the cadet zone. There is a look at Brody Dietz.
Well, I'll tell you what, you couldn't have picked a better matchup than you have right here today. Both games, actually. This should be a heck of a game right now. I don't think either team's going to get the 4 goals, though. I think they're both good enough. They ain't going to let that happen.
Yeah, it looks that way so far. Oh, there's a stick goes flying on that check thrown by Weston Quirk. You never know. Sometimes things change. Oh, you get bad bounces or things like that. But 2 quality goalies and 2 quality teams overall. McPherson shooting it wide there as he took a check. It's kind of a mixture size-wise, too. You got some, you know, definitely got some smaller guys for both teams, but you also have a few that are pretty good size, so they're kind of going head-to-head at times. There's a pad save by Neeson. Mikan stopped at center ice there, and they get it in on the second try. Cadets trying to finish a change. Kirshner looking to take advantage. Floats it out front for Podine, but chopped away from him. And back down deep. Junior Podine up with it. And overskated it there.
Kind of fooled himself on that play. Kind of got sticky behind the net there.
Yeah, I think he saw an opportunity to maybe, you know, catch the goaltender shifting side to side and see if he couldn't get a wraparound. Now it comes out front. Ooh, and McElroy has to make a nice stop on Pedri there as it bounced off the end boards and created a little bit of a chance for the Cadets.
Yeah, sloppy in front for the Red Knights there. Boy, got a golden opportunity.
Banked ahead. This is going to be icing, though, as he was shy of the center line. They tried to get it to Max Candon. He was tied up and never really got to that one.
Well, Coach Randolph so far has done a good job so far with his team. He started out a little rough with a 4-2 loss to Rogers, but Rogers is actually a pretty good team and has a chance to get to state this year. But they've beaten Edina, they've beaten Moorhead, Prior Lake, Cretin.
Yeah, and he was saying, you know, obviously he's done this for an awful long time. He said you'll see teams that kind of go on an upward plane all year, and he said that's how our team feels right now. We didn't start out great. I mean, they lost a couple early, but he said, you know, in a lot of ways I'd rather have it that way than a team that's looking like, you know, the world beaters on the 1st of December, and then there's nowhere to go but down from there.
You learn a lot more from losing than you do by winning.
Yeah, and obviously they're playing, both these teams play such a competitive schedule. I mean, they look to get as many good games, you know, and they're both in conferences that have some good teams at the top and then some, you know, not quite as good lower down too. So you have to play those games as well. But here's an opportunity on the turnaround try. Koski had that one blocked though. Pretty good pressure on this shift though by the Red Knights. Played back down low to Koski. Trying to get it into the high slot toward Ben Norris. Comes to the line, and then Koski's tip goes wide. Popane up with it, back down low toward Koski. And he was trying to make a backhand pass, but didn't really get anything on that one. And now the Cadets clear it. This is going to be another icing, though, as they played it right along the wall, and Nick Johnson could not reach it. So Ken Pauley asked both these guys, you know, how long do you keep on? And Coach Pauley said, well, I can see the end, but I feel like I have 3-4 years more to go. He's certainly a little bit younger than Coach Randolph. He's just shy of 60, but face-off win here. Stenger whipping one high up and over the net. Brody Dietz up with it. Now Mikan carrying, and he takes a check. And it comes right out front. McElroy kind of misfired trying to play that puck out to the corner, and they got a little bit of a good bounce there. Ulrich drops it off. Moser the shot, and that one fought off by Neeson. Back out to center it comes, and McPherson will tip it into the Benilde zone. Pretty close checking game, although pretty disciplined too. You're not seeing people that are trying to, really line somebody up and take a penalty. I mean, not to say that might not happen later on as they get deeper into the game and things heat up a little bit. But you're seeing guys that right now are taking the body, but without bringing the stick up or the elbow up and that kind of thing.
Well, you kind of want to set a physical presence. I don't care who you are, and especially if you got a bigger team, make the smaller guys be a little tentative coming in. But I don't think that's going to affect either team here. They're both experienced enough. They're both good enough. They'll play through it.
Mason Miner carrying it in here for Benilde, trying to float a little backhand pass out front, but that one didn't make it to Podine. And knocked down at center, and Red Knights trying to attack again, but quickly taken back. Tandon took a bump there. Weston Quirk playing it, and that one to an open wing. And then it pops up into the Benilde player bench there, so we'll get a whistle with 4:50 to go here in the first. The Cadets and the Red Knights at 0-0 here. Good entertaining back and forth game, but just not a ton of offensive chances so far, and when they have been, the goaltending has been good.
Yeah, a lot of long shots from outside. Shots are 4-5 and in favor of St. Thomas, but nothing really threatening.
Played around. They tried to go back to the D, but it was well read and taken by Popane. Carrying it here for Benilde. Drops it to Koski. He'll come back to Stenger trailing from the point, but that shot hit a shin pad.
That was a good intentional block by number 17 of the Cadets.
Yep, out front towards Zavarol, and he tips it just wide. Zavarol up with it here. And that one deflected twice on the way in, and then the point shot was knocked down. Got the word that, we talked about Zavarol's sister playing at Benilde. Apparently the mother went to Benilde and the father went to St. Thomas Academy, so they went that same way with the kids. Down low it comes, and there's a nice stop by McElroy as Luke McPherson got a chance from in front. Benilde overall has played solid on D, but a couple of opportunities that they've given up.
Well, I like the way the Academy's coming out and getting bodies on it. And the quickest way to slow down a fast-skating team is to hit him.
Ooh, Dietz with a hard wrister off the tip of the glove of McElroy. And the other thing I like what St. Thomas has done too, we've seen a couple of occasions where that third guy in isn't overcommitting. He's staying up high enough so he's got a good angle to maybe pick off a pass, or if there's a deflection or whatever. As much as you like to see guys hustle to the corners and all that, there's something to be said for playing good positionally and being in the spot up top too.
I think that goes right back to the coaches. Both of them are very strong on fundamentals and basic system play. And they do a good job that way. So you'll see both these teams be very disciplined.
Over to Moser here as the Red Knights try and break it out. Ulrich. We're also seeing both teams use three lines regularly here, which is not a surprise. I think that's something that these programs are, been deep enough that's standard operating procedure for them. Maybe you get in the state tournament or an overtime or something that might change, but generally you are going to see that from both these clubs throughout the year. No ice there as trying to fool him was Quirk as he stepped off the bench and kind of let it go through his feet there. Or actually not Quirk, Nick Johnson. Pedri will go to the point with it. Dietz walking it to the middle, shooting, and McElroy gobbles that one up. And he'll force a face-off here, 2:39 to go.
Boy, I like the way both teams are moving the puck. Nobody's trying to be an individual hero. They're using each other. Good team play. They trust each other.
Off the draw, Cadets win it. Shot was deflected. Now trying to get it out front there as they look for Pedri. Dietz will play it at center. Pass just failed to connect there. Jack Anderson up with the steal. Now it's Weston Quirk. And he got chopped a little bit, and here comes Pedri the other way. Floating it out front. Benilde might have gotten away with one a little bit on the back check there. And this one is going to be a penalty as a slash on the way back up ice, and Kirshner had his stick chopped out of his hand. And this penalty going to go against Gus Olsen, I believe, here for the Cadets.
Well, the minute that stick gets chopped down and out of the guy's hand, they'll call it right away.
And actually, it's going to be Dozhin who goes for the slash. And I think in a way that might have been a reaction to the Cadet being taken down on the way to the net there. Is like, well, okay, if they're going to get away with something, I'm going to come back a little bit. So Benilde clicking at about 28% this year. And when Coach Pauly was talking about keys to their season so far, that was probably the second thing he talked about after this goaltending, is that their power play has been very good. Norris up the right side here for Benilde. Gets it to Stenger and then back toward Norris in the corner. And he was knocked down and was thrown out by Patch Cronin. Boy, it made that one look easy. Just quick little check and then flung it down the ice. Miner dropping it back here. And didn't get it in deep. They'll go again now with Norris. He takes a bump.
Boy, the Cadets are being very, very aggressive here in this penalty kill.
Podine fanned on that pass, and it was taken away and thrown down the ice. Great use of the open area there by Cody Kronberg there. He picked that pass off and didn't just blindly throw it out. He just put it down the rink in a great spot. Miner. Chopped there, and it'll come back out to center. Miner carrying it back in. Benilde right now feeling maybe a little too overconfident carrying that puck in. There have been a few times where they've kind of just stick handled into traffic.
Well, going to test for weaknesses. You'll see if they can't get through that blue line, they're going to start dumping it in and going after it.
Stenger has it knocked away again.
Okay, now watch the Cadets as the Red Knights come up the ice. You'll see them 3 across on that blue line.
Popane throws this one to the corner and goes after it himself. Under 20 seconds to go in the period, and the penalty time about to expire as well. As Dozhin out of the box. Under 10 seconds remaining in the period. Koski's going to flip it in. And let's see, did he not quite make it to center? He did not. It's going to be icing against Benilde. Unforced error there. So 4.5 seconds to go, they'll give up a defensive zone draw. Koski kind of pleading his case. I thought I got there, and the officials said no.
Well, the guys in the striped shirts are always right even when they're not right.
Zavarol and Koski will face off. Koski did a good job tying Zavarol up. And then they'll just float it down the ice. So we come to the end of period number 1, a very close period. Obviously no scoring in this opening period of play here. So St. Thomas Academy and Benilde here in this top 10 matchup, even up at zeros after 1 period. We'll have first period highlights and then our second period up next here. You're watching boys hockey on CCX Sports. Welcome back here to the St. Louis Park Rec Center, home of the Red Knights from Benilde-St. Margaret's, along with St. Louis Park High School, of course, as we are 0-0 here at the end of one period of our boys' game here of this doubleheader, St. Thomas and Benilde, as we check out some highlights from that first period. Not a ton of chances, but certainly a few pretty quality opportunities, and the goalies had to be ready is McElroy. That one was one of the tougher ones right there. St. Thomas got more quality chances. Here's probably the best one for Benilde. Ulrich, a good move, snuck around the goaltender, but couldn't just get that last step to tuck it in or have a teammate come and bury that one. There's another pretty good opportunity created off the wall there for Patrick Cronin. And here's another good chance out front as that pass floated to McPherson, but in all cases, Mason McElroy was ready for the Red Knights and able to make the stops. As you see the shots relatively even, slight edge for St. Thomas. We had just the one penalty taken and slight edge again for the Cadets in scoring chances. So we'll see how things shake out for period number 2 as the Cadets and the Red Knights get set for our second period here. Early January hockey between two of the state's better clubs here on CCX. Welcome back. There's a look at Mason McElroy, who was sharp in that first period for the Red Knights and has played very well season long here for Benilde, helping them to this 8-1-1 start.
Well, he's got a .909 save percentage, and he's put up 2 shutouts. And they don't play a weak schedule, by the way. They're not playing the Little Sisters of the Poor, so putting 2 shutouts up is pretty good.
And Neeson, it didn't seem like was tested quite as much, but he obviously has played well all season and played well tonight also. The one thing about both of them, too, is they just look calm. You're not seeing, getting out of position and really having to wildly scramble back in. Ooh, a little chance for a 2-on-1. Here comes Koski sliding it across and got away from Norris there. Never got a shot away as he was being checked. Now Dozhin coming back, drops the pass off. Back for Dozhin, and he tips it just wide as he was being hauled down. Back out to Dietz, shooting there. McElroy sweeps it to the corner. So good chances at either end. We haven't had much in the way of odd man rushes, and we kind of had back-to-back there. Not fully 2-on-1s, but briefly so.
Well, just showing again how aggressive the Cadets are. They know they're in enemy territory. You might as well put it all out there and stretch it out. You may make a few mistakes, but if your goaltender can hold you up, it'll give you an opportunity. There we go.
Anderson fanning that. It seemed like the puck sticking to the ice just a little bit here early in the period. We saw a couple guys having, and there's another example.
You see him coming across the line here. Nice pass, just bounces off the heel of the stick and back into the skates there. You can see how wet the ice is, so it's kind of sticky. Like right here too, same thing.
And I think that's why we're stopping here, to be honest. I don't think there's a penalty. They just kind of stop play and maybe going to hold up for just a moment. Maybe get a squeegee out or shovel.
Well, just get some players out skating around and then let that air that's moved dry it up real quick. Good move, though. I like that. Good play by the referee. Nice job.
We've actually got a penalty coming here against the Cadets.
Yeah.
If this was a too many men. Yeah, it almost had to have been a too many men penalty. So Benilde to the power play. Here's a ripper that goes wide from Norris, and then the rebound just missing. So Benilde getting an early opportunity with the man advantage in the second.
Well, Benilde's running at a 35% success rate on the power play. That's a remarkable number. You don't want to take penalties against this team. So see if they can break it open here.
Kirshner will dump it to the corner. Goes after it himself. Back to Kirshner. Now it's Norris. Kirshner off the wall to the top, and a big slapper there by Miner. And there's Neeson making the stop for the Cadets.
That was a nice play, Jay. There was a lot of people in front of him. I'm really surprised he found it, but he's fundamentally been really good about staying in position, staying squared up. You get a good chance to look at the shot here. And yeah, look at how squared up he is. He's up above the crease. Nice job.
Red Knights win the draw. Miner, that one was blocked by Dietz. Play it back down low, Norris. They'll come out high with it again. Miner sliding it across. Kirshner from the circle, firing with traffic in front. Oh, and then it hits the pipe, I think, on that second opportunity. Miner dumping it toward the corner. Dietz with a great stick to free that one up, and then it takes a bad bounce, or maybe not so bad as it came back to Dietz. And he gets it down the rink on that second try. Half minute to go in the power play here for Benilde. Mason Miner leading the rush back up. He'll throw it in deep here. Norris back to get it. Miner stepping around the Cadet, and the shot blocked, and then it bounced over Popane's stick. Kirshner to Popane in the circle. Trying to slide it out front, knocked out of there by Dietz. Penalty is over. Cadets back to full strength. And floated ahead. Here's McPherson just out of the box. And a stop made there by McElroy. Getting a little more end-to-end here. Ulrich trying to knock that one down. Chop back out. And here come the Cadets with an opportunity. McElroy the save. The rebound still loose as he's able to deny Pedri. Kirshner leading the rush the other way for Benilde. And then that one snapped on net. Neeson the save. And they'll chase Dylan Popane out of there.
Good rebound off there. They kind of got away from him. It was really, really close. He couldn't stop it, and they got the rebound, but just missed the net by a little bit.
Yeah, didn't quite make it to the pipe like I thought, but definitely a close opportunity there.
Well, both teams are playing really aggressive. Nobody is standing back waiting to get this thing to feel each other out now. They're starting to go after each other.
Yeah, we're seeing more offense, it feels like, in this last handful of shifts. Tip to the Benilde line and then played in deep. McElroy will leave it for Callan. Got it around to Liam Moser. Pass across was picked off and floated ahead. Back there defensively, though, was Moser. Kicked up to the stick by Jack Anderson. One thing you're seeing with Benilde, you kind of interchangeable as guys, defensemen and wings are, they're not shying away from jumping into the play, and you're seeing guys at a first glance, I'm thinking, okay, if they switched him up to this line, but not really. They're just taking their chances to be part of the offense.
Well, when you're not having the offensive year that you're used to having and stuff, you try to get everybody involved, including your D, and with the talent they have, Jay, they should be able to pull that off.
McPherson trying to kick it to his stick. Koski races in to take it, though. Nice hands there, and he'll dump it in deep. They don't quite get it out. Nick Johnson, and that one to the corner. Palmer's shot was blocked. Cadets able to finally get it out, and Palmer back to play it. Nick Palmer slides it across. Nick Johnson, the third D pair out there for Benilde. Dietz swooping in to take it here for the Cadets. Good, strong skater. Dietz will dump it into the corner and then head off on a change here. Still scoreless, a little under 12 minutes to play in the second period. Benilde-St. Margaret's in white and red, and St. Thomas Academy in the black and blue. Red Knights won 4-2 when they played a season ago over at St. Thomas, right about this same time of year, right after the holidays. Back out to center. And dumped right back in. McElroy is quick out to get that one. He really likes to stop that puck and give it to his D. He'll do it again right here.
Yeah, that's just an effort of comfortability and good playmaking between the goalies and the defense. That's really a critical factor. If you got good communication, or you're going to be solid defensive-wise.
Palmer back to play it here for the Red Knights. Taken away on the forecheck. Turnaround try. That one sails up into the netting as Will Dojan, he really saw that pass coming and pounced on it. Didn't get a real good angle to be able to try to get that shot away, though, and then it was deflected up and out of play.
I can see why he's got 11 assists, though, Jay. He's putting the puck there and out in front, just waiting for a teammate to bury it. And we might see that happen later on here in the game.
Brandhausen able to win the draw for the Cadets, and Benilde able to squeeze it out to center anyway, thrown back in, and deflecting away. Kirschner waiting for help to arrive, putting it out front. Nice recovery defensively because Podine was camped out front looking to redirect that one in. Defenseman falls. Dojan carrying it back, and his shot was blocked. Good stick there by Mason Miner. Just squared him up nice and put the stick out and blocked that Dojan shot.
I'll tell you, that's a defenseman's worst nightmare, is falling down when the guy's coming down on you one-on-one, and oh my gosh, what happened?
Mikan taking the draw here for the Cadets. Russ trying to get a turnaround shot there, but gets it to the point instead. Banked in behind. Mikan playing it to the point. Whipped across to Dietz, and a pad save there. Big rebound by McElroy, which generally hasn't been the case. And Dietz will throw it right back in. I think both teams have kind of gotten the message probably too that, to beat these goalies, we're going to need to get traffic in front. We're seeing more of that here in the second period.
Yes.
That was offside as Russ was just escaping the zone when that puck hit his stick. So we'll come outside for face-off here with 9:51 to go in the middle period, and St. Thomas Academy and Benilde still at 0-0.
Well, it's nice to get a game with two ranked programs here, with two remarkable coaches who've been around for a long time, and watching how their systems amalgamate to each other too. I'm sure they faced each other just a few other times.
Pops high in the air. Pedri on the rush here. And some similarities too in the fact that both of these teams won state titles in Class A and then eventually moved up to Double A. It was, some years apart. It comes out front. Here's a shot on goal. Pedri buries it, and the Cadets break the deadlock here, as we saw a few of those kind of chances in the first period where a guy was camped in the slot and they were able to get him the puck. McElroy stopped those, but he does not stop this one, and Luca Pedri will put St. Thomas in the lead.
Just a really nice place. Camped himself in front, got himself a good opportunity, and he buried it. Went upper shelf, upper left-hand side corner. Well, I like the fact he took his time on that too. He just didn't rush it real quick. He waited for the goalie to make his move like he should. A good shooter does.
His first goal of the season too, the sophomore, and the teammates happy for him right there. Played in deep here, so a 1-0 lead now for St. Thomas Academy. Dojan carrying it here. Trying to sneak it through. The defenseman Dietz jumped into the play there. Or check that was Brandhausen.
Yeah.
Now Dietz trying to break that one up. Kirschner had it bounce over his stick. Zavarol sliding it across. Kirschner, backhander.
Got a little nastiness going on behind the net there. The thing is that, like we've said before, they're just not playing for a game. Right now, this has got state tournament credentials all over it. You get your quality and experience against good teams.
Pedri from Camden and Murray, the goal at 7:34 for the Cadets. And that's the thing, no easy path to state for either of these teams either. Benilde, I was thinking that, it's been now a dozen years since they won that state title and haven't been back since. You're running into Edina or Wayzata most of those years, and it's not an easy thing to get through that section.
It's kind of funny, though, the team that gets through that section generally is in the championship game.
And the other thing about that is there's something about Edina. We've talked about it when they were playing Wayzata. Regular season-wise, Benilde has fared okay against them. Wayzata's fared okay, but it just seems like at playoff time, Edina, they don't blow you out, but they get that 4-3 win or that 3-2 win. Yep. It just seems to happen a lot of times. And it can't be a coincidence after this many years of it. Banked out to center here. Cadets looking to quickly counter. Camden throwing it across. Red Knights able to win that puck back now. Stenger getting it ahead and then dumped on in by Liam Moser.
Well, I'm really impressed right now by the Red Knights. Their defense has been playing really solid on their own blue line and within their zone. They're not giving SVA very many opportunities and not a lot of rebounds.
Ranhausen, the sophomore, can really scoot. It's interesting. He's a little bit of a smaller guy. Got two big wings in Zavarol and Dozhin. Stenger playing it away toward the corner. Dozhin flipping it over, and he'll go get it himself. Gets a return. Nope, actually it snuck right through him there. They keep it alive, though. Dozhin will play it down deep, looking for Zavarol. And pop back out to center. It bounces away from Ulrich, but he's able to gain control. Ulrich back to Palmer and looking for a deflection there. That one went wide. Chased down nicely, though, by Nick Johnson to keep it in the zone. Now Norris. Dropping it down deep. Popane trying to bring it out front, but taken away there. Cronin. Popane knocked down. Puck right underneath him now, and he's shoved over while he's on his knees. Little 2-on-2 in for the Cadets, and then that one deflected up into the netting. A lot of blocked shots tonight. The D are doing a good job. And there's Popane, who in a tough spot when you're down like that and the puck's under you and you know they're going to be coming for you, and you just kind of got to grin and bear it and take it a little bit here. Right there.
He did what he had to do. That's part of the job.
Cadets able to win that draw. Thrown wide of the net. Minor floating it ahead. Podine will leave it for Kirschner. A little 3-on-2 possibly here. Kirschner trying to wrap around. He hit the outside of the cage. Then he blocked that clearing attempt, though. Quirk spinning away. Trying to play it back to the corner. Bounces over, and there's a stick save on Podine. Thrown back out front and intercepted there. 6 minutes to go now in the second. 1-0 St. Thomas Academy is their third-line centerman, Pedri, getting his first goal of the year. Kirschner drops the pass back. Minor was chopped at there. Bodine freed it up. Now Kirschner couldn't keep it. And that's going to be icing, though, against the Cadets as it was banked high off the glass and out. And we will come back into the St. Thomas zone for the face-off here. They have a 1-0 lead, trying to build on their solid win streak. As we said, they won 5 in a row, and not exactly weak opponents either. Centennial, Cretin, Prior Lake, Edina, and Moorhead they've defeated in their last 5.
Well, that's kind of a fairly good description of the top 10 in the state of Minnesota.
Hacked out to center there. Stenger up with it. And that pass misfires. Cadets up with the interception. Tipped ahead. Stenger back to play it here for Benilde.
Well, in this period now, Jay, these line changes are going to be big because they, got the opposite side benches here, both close to each team's attack zone.
You can see both the teams were, being bothered by the forecheck. You see they're very much spreading out now to try and create better passing angles. Taylor Salmon out there gets it to Ulrich. Ulrich chase back, now goes to Salmon, getting his first shift of the night. Nick Johnson across to Palmer. That shot didn't make it to the net. And now the Cadets able to get it out. Murray lost it to Palmer though, and Salmon will throw it back in, and then he'll head off on a change.
Well played by the BSMD there. Really nice stop.
Johnson picks it up at center, sliding it across. Koski had to tag up, but he did so nicely and gets to that puck, playing it down to the corner toward Norris. Koski coming off the wall with it here, slides it over to Minor. Minor being chased, but drops the pass off. Here's a shot from the circle, and a nice stop there by Neeson on Dylan Popane.
Neeson got out a little bit again, too, on an outside angle and really shut it down. Made an easy save there. His positioning has been very, very good tonight.
And I think sometimes goalies, they get so much caught up in wanting to get out and cut the angle that they run themselves into traffic. He's not doing that either. He's being smart about where he places himself too, so that he's not getting caught up in traffic unnecessarily. Check thrown there as Norris went for a topple. Carried up the left side here by Zavarol, and that one cleared away by Minor. Thrown down toward the corner here, and good speed to get to that one by Dozhin. Pad save made by McElroy. Cadets moving pretty well on this shift. Dozhin ringing it around the boards, kept in by Cronin. Oof. That one looked like it might have hurt a little bit. Pass fails to connect, and let's see, it is going to be icing. It was sort of near a defenseman, but they rule not close enough that he could have played it. So back into the Benilde zone we will come here with 2:55 remaining in the period. It's been again a very competitive period, a little bit of a different kind of period, it feels like. A little more wide open, a little more chances.
Well, both teams are starting to find their flow now, and then we'll find out who's got the best flow.
Cadets have been good on face-offs, and they've been aggressive, and they got too aggressive there and thrown out, but I think that's something that seems to be an emphasis for them, is to really get up and get good position right off the get-go. Kirschner trying to dig that puck free. A good battle in the corner, but the Cadets again end up with it. Mikan dropping it to McPherson. He'll ring it around. Stenger's throwing a solid check in there for Benilde. Play to the front. Stenger intercepting that one.
Well, the cycling that the cadets have been doing has been really good.
Just onside there. Callan shooting, and just a bit of a bobble for Neeson there as he tried to glove that one, but he was able to quickly pounce on it. And I think he was kind of caught in thinking that there was going to be a pass coming, and maybe surprised a little bit by that shot, but still played it well.
It looks like it's going to hit his hand heel, so to speak, on that glove rather than the pocket. I know shortstops don't like that very much.
No, but I love the recovery he made
Yes.
there. I mean, it was just a split second that it got away from him, but he never lost it and quickly covered up. Sometimes it's not all about that initial save. It's how you play it beyond that, too.
Well, you made a good point, too. He's cool, calm, and collected. He ain't getting shook by nothing right now. Ooh.
Back to the point. There was a misfire on that pass, intercepted, but again, good recovery by the Cadets, initially anyway. Here comes Miner. Miner dropping the pass across. Oh, and just behind Moser. Now the Cadets trying to come back and answer. Dojan sliding it through, but just a little too far for Brandhausen. Dojan up with it. He's got good strength. Turns, but fanned on that one. Dietz pinching in, but Miner ends up with it instead for Benilde. Trying to float that pass ahead, but Cronin with great hands to knock that one out of the air.
Yeah, and a good back-checking forward there. That made all the difference in the world because one of the Dietz, the defenseman, got caught up inside the blue line.
Dietz up with it as we're under a minute to play now in the second. Still 1-0 Cadets. That shot, yet another shot block for Benilde as Murray fired from out high, and we'll get a face-off here with 52.8 to go here. Hope you're enjoying this one. A good night of hockey. The girls' game was 1-1 final, Benilde and Orono, and then St. Thomas Academy leading the Benilde boys here 1-0 in a very tight back-and-forth game here.
Well, in the second period here, they both got into their pace, their rhythm, so to speak, going up and down the ice here, both teams.
Tipped ahead to Norris, up the left wing. He'll drop it for Callan. Sliding it across, but Popane had his stick lifted. Cadets looking to counter. Ooh, good recovery by Stenger as they almost played it by him. Now here come the Red Knights. Norris trying to go to the net with it here, but well played defensively again. He leaves it behind now for Koski. And that one hit somebody on the bench. Well, St. Thomas, even when they make like a little mini mistake, they seem to be very good at covering for each other. You just don't see, a grade A chance given away by a bad play very often for their team.
Well, they support each other very well, and that's the guy right there that makes sure that happens. His East Greyhounds always did that really well, and obviously the Cadets are doing it for him right now.
Yeah, there were a number of times where Duluth East would come into a state tournament under Coach Randolph where, don't get me wrong, they certainly had a lot of great players and teams, but there were times when they maybe weren't necessarily the better team, yet they would still win games by being so sound.
If you've got a good foundation, you can do a lot of things off that right now, and both these teams have it.
Koski and Brandhausen facing off. 8.6 to go. Pretty key draw, though, late in the period if they can get a chance late. Instead, the Cadets get to it and play it out to center.
Yeah, a nice play there. Won it, got it out of the zone. That's all they needed to do.
Yeah, Zavarol didn't try anything too tricky there. Zavarol mixing up with Miner a little bit at the end of the period here. Zavarol's all by himself, though. I think he realized he's outnumbered, so he kind of make the slow turn away. So we come to the end of period number 2. The visiting Cadets from St. Thomas Academy draw first blood as they lead it 1-0 here after 2. Second period highlights and stats, and then what should be a great third period up next here on CCX. Well, welcome back here to St. Louis Park Rec Center, along with Dan Fick and MJ Wilcox. St. Thomas Academy leading Benilde now 1-0 through 2 periods here of this top 10 matchup in boys hockey, as we'll take a look at highlights from that second period, including what eventually became the only goal of the game so far, but some it felt like a little more wide open, a little more opportunities. That one Norris would like to have again, as it just squirted away from him at the last second. And a big rip from the point taken there by Mason Minor. Another pretty good opportunity right there, and then the rebound just cleared out of there as Neeson was down. And then this one, watch it bounce wide, then a quick little flip out front. Pedri, third guy in, pops it in for his first goal of the season. And that is the only goal, obviously, of this game so far, as the Cadets holding a 1-0 lead here through 2. And again, shots fairly low and fairly even, with a slight edge to St. Thomas. Same with scoring chances. Cadets have actually taken the only 2 penalties of the game, but they've held that good Benilde power play in check. Not a lot of chances with the man advantage for the Red Knights. Well, we will head to period number 3 here. Both coaches expected a tight game, and we've definitely got that. 1-0 St. Thomas as we get set for period number 3 up next.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
St. Thomas Academy will carry a 1-0 lead into period number 3. Luca Pedri's goal in the second, so still very much anybody's contest here. Entertaining back and forth game. Koski and Brandhausen will face off to begin the third, and we are underway in period number 3. Jack Anderson will dump it in deep here for the Red Knights. Brandhausen banking it. Ooh, Koski jumped in and almost took that one away. And banked down the ice. This is going to be icing against the Cadets as they misfire on that breakout pass. Come right back into the St. Thomas zone.
Good pressure put on by BSM that time. They won the faceoff, got it down in the zone real quick. And St. Thomas had ice to get it out with the pressure that was coming.
You can kind of tell this Koski, Popane, Norris line wants to really make something happen here. They've been, relatively quiet. They've done some good things, but haven't. Here's Koski in tight, sliding it across. Norris got a piece of it, but couldn't direct it on net as he was being tied up. Koski back up with it, but had it taken. And then Brandhausen lost it briefly, gets it back though. Now Zabarol. And they can't get it out though. Popane sliding it toward the front. Koski a whack at it. And eventually it is covered. And Koski right in the middle of things there. Cooler heads prevail though. Everybody breaks apart.
A nice play by Propium right here. And that is a great move there. That almost worked for him. That little backhanded pass off a spin.
Cadets win the draw. Can't get it out up the wall, and now they do. Pass broken up as Mike had tried to slide it to the left wing there. And Kirshner had his pocket picked by Mikan. Mikan throwing it into the other corner. Russ in, back for Mikan. Had it chopped away there. And now here come the Red Knights out of there with it. Weston Quirk sliding it over to Kirshner. Little spin move there, trying to get it back to Quirk.
St. Thomas D made a good move there, preventing that pass to go into the slot and forced it into the corner. Got into a board battle, and out they came.
Sliding it right up the middle now. Kirshner trying to beat the D, but couldn't do it. Palmer knocked that one down initially and then relayed in deep there for Camden. Long all the way around and out, picked up there by Kronberg. And now carried right back in by Ulrich. Ulrich firing from the circle, and then the rebound knocked wide as he got that one up high into the shoulder of Neeson.
Well, you're seeing the Red Knights here turn the pressure up. They're not backing out of that attack zone very much. They're going to hold the point. They've got to generate some offense here. They've only gotten 11 shots on goal. That surprises me from the team that's averaging four goals per game.
Icing call there against the Cadets. Koski line back out there for Benilde. He will win the draw back to
Beautiful.
Anderson. Shot knocked down though in the slot, didn't make it to the net. Dojan up with it, a bad bounce there, but Cronin jumps in to help out. Dojan carrying up the right wing. His shot denied. It stayed in the zone though. Played down low, here's a tip and a shot. Oh, and somehow it didn't go in. Losing the goal stick was McElroy in the process of making that save. Norris for the Red Knights looking to answer. Oops, played it to an open spot there. They weren't on the same page. Zavarol to Dietz. Dietz floating it to Zavarol, but couldn't control that bouncing puck.
You know, I'm surprised. The Red Knights are having some real trouble communicating here. They're just not on the same page.
Dump back in. Cadets will get a change. Anderson dropping it across to Minor and tipped in as the Red Knights will finish their change. Back into the Benilde zone. Stenger up with it here for Benilde. Ooh, deflected in, and then a collision at center. Hitting's kind of picking up a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me greatly to see a penalty before long. Loose in the circle. There's a save and another. Neeson having to come up with a couple of big stops there as Stenger got a pretty good attempt from the circle. And that one deflecting to the corner. You can see Benilde, like you said, Dan, playing with more urgency right now. They seem to be a little bit quicker than they've been. And that pass does not connect, and it'll be an icing against St. Thomas Academy. They're back on their heels just a little bit.
Yeah, we get a good look there. Just, oh my gosh.
Just got a piece of that. I was all ready to say goal. It looked like it was an open net to shoot at. McElroy didn't agree. Red Knights starting to do better on faceoffs as well. Shot blocked, and the rebound laying loose. And now we get a scramble out front, and they didn't like Liam Moser being camped in the front and come after him a little bit there, and they're still kind of locked up. But again, cooler heads prevail there. As boy, you could just see Neeson really fighting to get to this puck to try and cover it, but he couldn't. It took a while before he was able to really get on top of it, and then I can see why they didn't really like Liam Moser. He came in with some aggression there.
Well, they're down by a goal. They're going to go after everything hard.
Yeah, you kind of get the feeling that that's the talk on the bench is we need to crank it up a notch here.
And with this physical play, they're just trying to make them back off.
Anderson back to play it here for Benilde, sliding it across to Mason Minor. He will leave it for Anderson. And Ulrich up the right wing, and the D a little slow to get over there, but he misses from a shallow angle.
Well, we haven't seen too much of that, where they take a wide angle shot and it goes all the way back to the other end.
Minor runs into traffic near the blue line. And we said earlier Benilde was having a little trouble with that, where they weren't gaining the zone clean. They were trying to stick handle through a little too much traffic.
Well, the Cadets have come in playing a nice, tight checking game, not only with their bodies, but with their sticks, too. They're getting them in the way. You're not seeing a lot of passes come into the middle at all. Those sticks are just knocking pucks down. So you're going to have to open it up, and I think use the D if you're the Red Knights. You get point shots.
Patch Cronin, who committed to Colgate recently. Mikan now up the left side here for the Cadets. He never got a shot on net. Nice little drop pass though. McPherson. Cronin mishit that one, and then he made a good play to break it back up as Popane was trying to come back the other way.
Ooh.
Near takeaway there by Nico Russ. Callan sending it up the wall. Popane took a check as Olsen moves it forward here for the Cadets, and he'll play it in deep. Mason Stenger to Popane up the right side. That one deflecting up and out of play here with 11:05 to go in the third. St. Thomas Academy, a goal midway through the second. They lead it 1-0, and they just played solid hockey.
They have, and they're doing well right now with playing a little more defensive game. Their centers are coming up back high, so they have 3 on the blue line at any given time, coming back into their own zone. They're going to force the Red Knights to dump it in and then beat them to the puck.
That one hit somebody on the Benilde bench as Murray tried to flip it in deep.
That Benilde bench, by God, they're going to have some puck marks on the helmets. That's about the 5th or 6th one.
I think if you're St. Thomas on that one, you might be thinking they're kind of leaning out over it a little bit. It wasn't really that bad of a attempt to dump it in, it didn't seem like. Olsen couldn't get that puck past the defenseman Johnson. Nick Johnson throwing it into the corner here for Benilde. Good hustle by Podine to get to it, then it squirted away from him. Kirschner trying to protect that puck with his body as he was tied up by Gus Olsen. Now Pedri leading the rush back for the Cadets. And nice initial rush, but then taken away and then overskated and turned the other direction. And it'll be Camden dumping it back in as St. Thomas finishes a line change. A little bit of a miss hit there, and the Cadets try to take advantage, but then re-intercepted by Weston Quirk. That one will come up into the bleachers as they scramble out of the way.
I like the way the Red Knights are forechecking here. They're kind of mounting up good, but they're also playing really well in their defensive zone.
Brandhausen will face off with Ulrich here. Miner jumps in to pick it up for Benilde, and that pass made its way through ultimately, but then taken back the other way. A little chance for the Cadets here. They're a little bit bunched up though on that pass deflected. Here's Dietz though, some room to walk in. However, his shot was blocked as Taylor Salmon came out to meet him. Dietz picking it up here for the Cadets, banking it long, and it just, that's going to be offside. Oh, ouch. Sliding in hard was Zavarol.
I think he was reaching so hard he kind of got unbalanced. I don't think it was because of the hit from the defenseman. Obviously, we're not getting a penalty right now, so. All the way down, yeah, all the way down.
Dietz thought he saw an opening to really complete this play, but you can see Zavarol, it was already in. Yeah, that was more of a hit than I thought.
Yep. Sorry, I was wrong.
Cadets win the draw. Cronin trying to bank it out and does so. Race for it here. Russ getting to it. Backhander. Ooh, and a pad save, but a big juicy rebound. McElroy making the stop. Russ creating a good opportunity there. Here's Norris. Sliding it over toward Koski. Cronin sending it around to Dietz. We'll probably see a lot of that Cronin-Dietz pair out there down the stretch here, I would think, for STA. Russ playing it around behind. McPherson trying to work his way out of there. Finds Cronin, and now Dietz. A miss hit there, but they'll get it in deep again anyway. And a takeaway there, and Popane giving it for Koski. But once again, the rush interrupted. Murray picking it up. His shot blocked. He was all alone as they were changing behind him. Petrie trying to get it in deep. Now it's Koski receiving that pass, but chopped away from him. Koski will pick it up again. And thrown right back out. St. Thomas, you see, just playing smart hockey. I mean, they're not taking chances. They're just breaking up the flow, the rhythm of Benilde, and they're trying to, create a good rush.
Now you can see there's only one person down forechecking. Everybody else is back, trying to pick off the second pass or stop him at the red line.
Good job of angling that puck so it wouldn't become an icing, too. Quirk with some speed into the zone. Odin putting it out front. Ooh, and that one was dangerous as there was a lot of bodies around. Ooh, a nice takeaway there by Miner. Leading the rush back. A couple of Red Knights fell behind the play, and now here's St. Thomas turning it back the other way. Brandhausen has it slide away, and ooh, good shot, good save, McElroy. That one will come back up and out of play here. 7:17 to go.
Well, I think the Red Knights right now are tightening on their sticks a little bit too much with their hands. They're just feeling it and getting frustrated for not completing.
Mikan and Ulrich will face off here. Still time to go, certainly. You don't need one to tie, but at the same time, each shift that goes by, they start to feel a little bit more that the times are becoming a factor. Moser picks it up. Now trying to create from down low. That's going to be a penalty against the Cadets.
Yep.
Ulrich then took another hit there, but we'll get a holding call against St. Thomas Academy. Ulrich hurting a little bit, but he helped to draw that penalty. Right there, got the...
Oh, he got yanked down.
Yanked down.
Right by the breezers. Right on his hip. I think it hurt him.
Tommy Kurtz will pick up the penalty.
Now this is where face-offs become important right now.
Cadets quickly win it, quickly dump it down the rink. I don't think it's not quite late enough in the game. I don't think that you think about bringing McElroy off for make a two-man advantage. We got still too much time for that. But if this situation presented itself again a couple minutes later, it might be a different story.
If you were 2 goals down or 3 goals down, that'd be the difference. But not now.
No. Miner with speed leading this rush, drops the pass off, and they throw it behind the net. Norris receiving it. Benilde getting into their power play setup. Back from Miner out high. Kirshner to Norris.
Well, the Cadets are showing a nice tight box here.
Deflection there, but a pad save made by Neeson. Dietz trying to whack that puck out right through Podine. And they can't get it out, though. Miner kept it in nicely. Over to Stenger. 40 to go in the power play. Back out to Miner, and that one deflecting into the corner. Stenger dropping it down low to Norris. Norris sliding it across, and that deflects out. Cadets being called to the bench quickly here as they make a change. 25 to go in the power play.
Boy, a real key here for the Cadets. I mean, they're blocking shots. They're not relying on their goaltender. They're blocking shots whenever they can.
And I'll let that one slide right through to Neeson as he will cover up here with 5:06 to go. 16 remaining in the power play for Benilde. Again, coming into the night, Benilde was converting at about a 29% rate, so certainly has been a key factor in their good start, but largely held in check here, and obviously haven't scored one, still down 1-0. But they're going to try and change that here. Popane shooting, that one was blocked by Olsen. And they just got it out. Played ahead to the line, penalty is over. St. Thomas has killed it off. Ulrich building up steam here as he comes into the zone. Ulrich looking for the wraparound, and it's in. He tucked it off of Neeson, and Ulrich ties it up with 4:34 to go for the Red Knights.
That's the first bad mistake Neeson's made. He didn't get over to that post quick enough, and they saw it.
It's interesting that St. Thomas has really been dropping back enough to the point where they really let Ulrich build up speed through the neutral zone there and didn't come up to meet him right away. But yeah, you're right. This is one that, and then you see it just an unlucky deflection off the pad, but he was slow getting back.
Yep.
So the complexion changes here. 1-1 our score now. After a long time of protecting a lead, now the Cadets are tied. And Benilde, see if they can get their momentum up the middle of Podine. Quickly caught, though. Nice defensive play by Dietz. Podine back to it. Ooh, and that one flipped from a shallow angle. Miner gaining control. See, the Red Knights aren't satisfied with just tying it up. They're like, we got the momentum. We're going to keep coming and see if we can't get another. Here's a shot from Podine. That one was blocked. And Russ carrying it back now for the Cadets. He's met, though. Did get the pass ahead, but they'll look to change. Kirshner banking it in, and Benilde will look to finish a change of their own.
Well, I imagine, I know Coach Pauly, he says, okay, just because we got it tied up, we're going to keep coming hard.
Koski's pass off a skate there. Cadets get it in deep. Camden and Pedri trying to free it up, but now a nice breakout instead. Here's Koski giving it to Norris. Tried to float it back to Koski, but dumped back out. And played in deep here. Gus Olsen will pick it up for the Cadets. Knocked away. Here's Stenger from the slot, firing. That one went up over the net. That's the thing. Sometimes it's hard to get the momentum back if you're the team that was protecting a lead that no longer has that lead.
Well, this is where your top players have got to step up for you now. In a tight game like this.
Brandhausen dropping it back. Cronin, a nice move. Cronin to the front. He fires a save, and then the rebound knocked to the corner as McElroy comes up big. The defenseman Cronin with a couple of nice moves.
Yes.
Zavarol. He fires. Pad save there. Big rebound. Brandhausen up with it. Puts it out front. And McElroy, for a moment, looked like he had lost sight of that one.
Yeah, he didn't know where it was. He finally figured it out. It was still in his paths, but he was kind of gave that look back into the net real quick. Nice play by Braunschausen there.
Look at Cronin. Two nice moves to the net. Got all the way in tight, and McElroy a big save, and then got some help on that clear. Cadets get to that draw.
Yeah, it's been a pretty even battle that way, too. I mean, each team's won their fair share of faceoffs here.
Yeah, earlier it seemed like it was mostly St. Thomas, but I think the Red Knights definitely picked up the pace in that regard. Anderson back across to Callan. He'll have to circle back here. 1:40 to go. Now 1-1. That was the score in the girls' game, and obviously we played overtime in that one, and we're looking like that could be a possibility here as well. Neither team showing any sign of using their timeout at this point, but we'll see. I think probably if the score had still been 1-0, we might have seen one there, but now at 1-1, it's a little bit different thing. Red Knights control the draw. Minor or zipping it across to Stenger, and he'll play it in deep. 1:25 to go. Cronin stumbled a little bit, but keeps possession. Minor, a nice play to break that one up. Here comes Podine. Podine, a shot. Ooh, pad save there. Kicked back toward him. Sent toward Quirk, but knocked away. Minor gaining control of it for Benilde, and he'll relay it right back in. We're under a minute to go in regulation. Dietz playing it up the wall, and they'll get it to center. The race on here, knocked away down toward the corner. Minor trying to throw the home run ball to Koski there. It's off his stick. Koski picks it up. Back toward Norris. Koski trying to spin away there, but Cadet's able to take it. Cronin floating it ahead, trying to get it to Dojan, and that one is going to be a high stick.
My, oh my. Have we seen some good hockey tonight? This has been up and down. The pace has been really good. These kids are in good shape right now. They're not slowing down one bit.
And now we will see Benilde take a timeout here with 18.9 to go. And here's where you're glad that you have been using three lines all night, too, as we talked about earlier. That here's a look at where these teams sit right now. Is Benilde in at number 4. St. Thomas Academy sitting at number 8. The Cadets play Tartan on Saturday, but then they play Hill Murray at Aldrich on Wednesday, which obviously a big matchup for them in their side of town. And for Benilde, they've got Moorhead coming here Saturday, and then they play a road game here against St. Louis Park on Tuesday of next week, and then play at Eden Prairie and at Chaska after that. So some quote-unquote road games, although one of them still in this rank.
It was kind of funny there. I looked at top 10. I didn't see Hill Murray there.
Yeah, it's kind of unusual. Yeah.
Well, this face-off is going to be really key. I think I pull my point people in a little bit farther.
You do win the draw. There's a shot, and it deflects in. Oh my, St. Thomas, a key face-off win. And it helps give them the lead back, as it's going to be Brandhausen, it looks like, who got the piece of that one from the point. And the Cadets back in front with just 15 seconds to go in the game.
What a nice setup, boy. I'll tell you, winning face-offs is so key. Got it back to the point, took a nice rip shot through a bunch of screen players, and it got in the net.
And Brandhausen is the one who won the draw. See it.
Got deflected there.
Yeah, it looked like it hit a couple different people.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard to tell. I'm basing it on the celebration that Brandhausen appeared to be the one getting credit, but
Now, McElroy came out of there looking weird. It just changed direction on him twice, and it twisted him all around.
And there's an empty netter. Deflected home to make it 3-0, or 3-1, excuse me. Zavarol will tap it in for the Cadets. Obviously, at that point, Benilde, nothing to lose. You pull your goalie and see if you can't get a quick face-off win, and instead, it turns into a quick goal for Zavarol and the Cadets. So 7 seconds apart, they score goals number 2 and 3. There's
That's what
one.
we call
Even
it,
I could have
tap-in.
scored.
Just a tap in. And he did get a birdie on it, by the way. Boy, what a nice finish for the Cadets. They just really did a nice job of just turning it up just a little bit more.
And St. Thomas Academy is going to win it here by that 3-1 score. Win number 699 for Mike Randolph. So one away from 700, and a heck of a hockey game, as you said, Dan. It was starting to feel like we were going to be having overtime, but the Cadets had other ideas.
Yes, they did. They came out to play. They weren't intimidated at all in the home turf for the Red Knights, and a lot of credit goes to that man right there, too. He might be able to take them over the top here. He's been to the top a few times, so good win by the Cadets.
Congratulations to Mike Randolph, and best of luck as he pursues that all-time win record. My first time doing a Mike Randolph game, and couldn't have been nicer to talk to. It was a good time to talk to him, and obviously Coach Paulo we've known for years and years, and a great guy, and we thank the Red Knights for having us here tonight as well, and we certainly hope you've enjoyed the action in the girls and boys games here tonight from St. Louis Park Rec Center. Final in the boys game, St. Thomas Academy 3, Benilde 1. For Dan Ficken and the rest of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from SLP.